All right, here we go. Lesson 1, Basic Navigation in Savant. Now first, let's tap the Savant symbol to open up the app and get started. This will take us to the last page we were on when we left the app. For simplicity's sake, I'm going to take us to the home page for a good starting point. Now, with Savant, we think of things in terms of rooms, which are basically the rooms and environments in your home we can control, and services, those systems and devices we want to control in the rooms. Now if we tap this button to go back to rooms, you'll notice that each room displays the services available in that room, such as temperature, lights, security, cameras, TV, and so on. You can also tap in any of these rooms to see them full screen. In any screen where we see these service icons, we can tap on them to control them. We have individual videos to show you how to use each of these, so we're not going to cover services just yet. Now that we've seen a room view, let me show you a services view. Just tap this button at the top twice, and here they are. Now if I tap one of these, lights for example, I can see all the rooms and tell which ones have their lights on or off, and control them from here as well. Alright, let's go back home to show you one last thing. This is the scenes button. Pay attention, this is cool. Now each of these scenes are whole house states you can instantaneously transition to with one tap. As an example, date night could dim all the lights, turn on the fireplace, and play some vibey playlist from your Sonos. Very cool. We'll get into this deeper in the Create Scenes tutorial. There it is. The basics for navigating around the Savant app. Alright, here's a crowd favorite. Editing room pictures in Savant. Tap on the app and go to the Rooms page. Then hit this gear-looking symbol. This is our settings screen. Now if we tap the room settings, we're taken to this page, where we can add our own pictures for the rooms in our system. Just tap Add Image and pick your poison. You can take a picture of your room right now with your iPad's camera, you can choose a picture you already have on your iPad, or you can browse the default images provided by Savant. Once you're done editing your room pictures, you can back out of this to the Rooms page and see your handiwork there. Simple, do-it-yourself customization. Pretty cool. Adding user profiles in Savant. You ready? Okay, tap the app. Go to Rooms page. Tap the little guy in the top left corner. This is the user profile page. At the top, you'll see George. That's me. I can tap Manage Profile and change my name, but I'm sort of attached to it, so I'm going to leave it alone. But if I back out and tap this plus sign, now I can add someone new. The Add User page gives you the choice of 3 different profiles which provide varying levels of access to the program. We have short descriptions with each, and I think I'll just read these because they explain them pretty well. The guest user will only have access while within the home. This user can also be restricted to select rooms, services, and scenes. A good example of a guest user would be a vacation renter or a house guest. The household user will have remote access to the home. This user can also be restricted to select rooms, services, and scenes. A good example of a household user might be your child, so that you can limit their access to rooms and services you'd prefer they not mess with. The admin user can do it all. They'll be able to invite users and manage other users within the home. Okay, let's select household user to see where that takes us. Here you can enter the user's email address, and an automatic email will be sent to this user. When the user responds back with his or her username and password, they'll be listed in the system. Now let's see what an individual user screen looks like. On this screen, we can see all the users who can access this Savant system. If I tap on one, we see all the things we can do to allow or limit access for this user. Want to make a change to a user's profile in Savant? Watch this. Tap the app. Let's go to the Rooms page. Then tap the little man up here. Okay, here's the users page. I'm going to tap to enter Joe Blow's profile. Then I want to give Joe the ability to access the system remotely, so I'll check this. I'd like to give him access to all the rooms, so I'm going to tap here and then select the rooms that are deselected. And there we go. Joe Blow has unlimited Savant superpowers. Here's how you control your lighting using the Savant control system. Before we start, let me show you two ways we can get to the lights in a single room. The first way is by tapping here to go to the Rooms page, where we can tap on this light bulb icon in any of the rooms that have controllable lights. The second way is to go back to the Home page and tap the light bulb here on the Services bar. Now we can see the same rooms we saw before, but in a list view. So from here we can tap on the Great Room to see this page where we can control all the lights in the room with single button pushes. Bright, mid, dim, and off. Now check this out. You see this lights button here? If we select it, we can adjust the lights in the room individually, either on and off, or by tapping here to get to a slider for dimming the lights. That's a quick look into lighting control through Savant. I hope it was helpful. Okay, controlling your satellite TV or cable TV receiver. Let's open the app and go to the Rooms page. Now, imagine you're in the living room and you want to watch some regular TV. Let's tap here to enter the living room page. On our Services bar at the bottom, we see the Cable TV icon. And this would say Satellite TV if you had DirecTV, but it's basically the same thing. Let's go in. Boom. Now, if you're like me, most of the time you're going to hit the Favorite button right here so that you can choose the station you want by just tapping its logo. Simple, huh? By the way, this Favorites list is personalized to whoever made it. More on that in the user profile video. This button in the middle takes you to a screen with the same controls you're used to on your cable remote, including guide, DVR, exit, and so forth. You can also engage the direction arrows with simple left, right, up, or down swipes. The next button to the right gets you to the transport screen, where you can play, pause, fast forward, and so on, plus a keypad for entering channel numbers. This More button gives you access to other things like On Demand, Menu, and Info. I almost forgot. Here's where you can control volume. And that's pretty much it. TV control in less than 90 seconds. Let's learn how to create favorite TV channels. First, let's open the app and go to the Rooms page. Let's tap here to enter the Living Room page. On our Services bar at the bottom, we see the Cable TV icon. Let's go in. Boom. Now, if we tap the Favorite button, the star here, we can see the favorites we've already made. We want to add a new one, so I'm going to tap the plus sign. Now you can add the logo, name, and channel. I usually Google the logo ahead of time, save it to my pictures on the iPad, and then tap Choose an Existing Picture to get all the cool color logos I want. Then you could add the channel name and channel numbers by tapping them. By the way, this favorites list is personalized to whoever made it. More on that in the user profiles video. That's it. Now you can add favorites until your heart's content. Welcome back. Here's a look at how we control Apple TV with Savant. First, let's open up the app. Now go to the Rooms page. Now let's say we're in the Great Room and we want to watch a little Apple TV. We just go into the room and we find Apple TV on the service bar and tap it. On the navigation page, we have the same controls we have on our Apple remote. Menu, select, left, right, up, and down arrows. As you engage the controls here, you'll be able to see the Apple interface on the TV change with your commands. So here are the basics. If you want to select something, just tap select. If you want to go back, hit menu. Notice with the direction arrows, instead of tapping them, just swipe left, right, up, and down. It's easier. One hot tip before we sign off, if you want to go all the way back to the first Apple menu page, hold the menu button down instead of tapping it. There you go. Apple TV on the Savant interface. Blu-ray player control with Savant. No sweat. First, launch the Savant app. Then hit Rooms. Let's say you're in the Great Room and we have a Blu-ray disc locked and loaded. Here's what we're going to do. Now, normally I would select Great Room, but we can also just tap the services in individual rooms from this screen as well. So just tap Blu-ray. Hit this icon with the direction arrows, and voila. Now we can navigate through the Blu-ray or DVD menu. Just swipe left, right, up, or down for the arrows, and tap Select to enter or Return to go back. Once we're into the movie, we can tap this icon to the right to get to our navigation page with play, fast forward, pause, and so on. Here's the volume page. And up here, we have the power button to shut her down when you're done. I almost forgot. Tap here for some added features on the disc. That's our Blu-ray tour. Enjoy your movie. Here's how you control your music services with Savant. Tap the app and then enter a room with speakers. Like this one, the living room. If we tap the music icon, it takes us to a page where we can select the music we want. Before we jump into the music services, let's look at some other things on this page. Down here at the bottom, we can see what tune is playing now and can even pause or play it if we want. If I tap on it, we can see the album art and controls for play, pause, jump forward and back, and volume. Up here at the top, we can see how many rooms our music is playing in, and if we tap it, we can see all the rooms with music and play or silence the selection in each room. Okay, back to music services. Under My Music, we can see all the music available on our home's iTunes or music server, organized by artist, albums, genres, and composers. I'm not going to go into playlist favorites or recents just yet, because we'll cover those in other videos. But I would like to take a look at one of our online music services here to give you a taste. Let's tap on Pandora. Within the Pandora section, we have all the functionality you'd have on your computer, tablet, or smartphone. We can choose a station and play it, or add it to the queue or favorites by tapping out here on the right. We can also change Pandora accounts here. Alrighty, that's a look at the basic music functionality within Savant. Music playlists in Savant. Tap the app. Select music. Under the music icon, we find colorful logos representing the music services you subscribe to, like Pandora, SiriusXM, and Spotify. We also have folders, one of which is our playlist folder. Here you can get to any playlist you have already created by simply tapping on it and then selecting Play All. Want to create and add a playlist? Let's go into Spotify and find some songs we want to add to a playlist. Let's say we want to make an all Beatles playlist. Tap Search, type Beatles, then Done. Here are 200 songs we can choose from. Now I can start selecting songs and adding them to my queue, like so. Once I have all the songs I want to my playlist, I can then go into my current song, tap on the top right corner to see the queue, then Actions, then Save Queue as Playlist. Now give it a name, Beatles. Now, when I close out of all this, I'll find the Beatles playlist I just made in the playlist folder. That's how Savant handles playlists. Now go explore your inner DJ. Music favorites in Savant. Tap the app, select music. Here, along with your music services, we see the favorites folder. Inside, we see our favorite stations and channels from Pandora, TuneIn, SiriusXM, and any service that offers programming. We can play a favorite by just tapping on it. If you want more detail, just tap at the bottom here to expand the view of your current selection. Want to add a favorite? Let's close out of this and select Pandora. You'll notice that next to each station, there are 3 dots. If I tap on the dots, we're given the options of adding to queue or adding to favorites. Let's do it. Now when we go back, we can see our new favorite right here. That's our favorites video. Definitely one of my favorites. Music recents in Savant. Tap the app. Select music. Want to hear the artist you were listening to yesterday? In the Recents folder, you find all the recent music selections you've made. Just tap on what you want to hear, and you're good to go. Recent music in Savant. Short and sweet. Want to see some cool Savant features we haven't covered yet? Check this out. Tap the app. On the services bar here at the bottom, next to the names of the services, you can see that some of them have a little dot next to them. That's telling us that service is on somewhere in the house. Here's another tip. Many of these services you can tap and then hold to gain access to some quick controls. Nice, huh? Okay, now I'm going into Rooms to show you another cool feature. Notice the order of the services here. Apple TV, climate, lighting. Now watch this. I'll go to the second page of services, select something, jump out of it, and look here. It's now listed as the first service in the room. In this last feature, I'll need to turn the music on to show you. Tap the music icon, select Pandora, then choose a station. Now when we exit, look, see the bouncing bars? That tells us that music is... Here's a look at how you can set up notifications within the Savant system. Tap the app to open it, go to the Rooms page, and hit the gear icon in the upper right corner. From here you can see the Notifications button. Now we can see a list of the notifications that have already been set up. I'm going to delete this notification and recreate it to show you how notifications work. Deleting is easy. Just swipe left and tap delete. Done. Now let's tap the plus sign. Here you can see the 3 types of services that can have notifications: climate, lighting, and entertainment. Let's say I want to know if my kids are watching TV after hours on a school night. What I would do is tap entertainment. Here it's asking me if I want to be notified when the TV is on or off. So we'll keep the on button selected and tap next. Next is where we can enter the particulars of our notification. If we tap on where, we can select the rooms where those rascals might be watching TV. I'll just keep them all selected and tap done. The when setting will need some input. Type doesn't apply to this example, but let me show it to you anyway because it's pretty cool. Here you see we can select normal, which is just the time of day, nothing tricky there, but we can also tap celestial, which lets us enter a time relative to the position of the sun where you live. This way you can, for instance, be notified if any lights are on outside when the sun is up, which is pretty cool, but I digress. Let's select normal and see what's there. Okay, since bedtime is at 10 p.m., that is what I'll change the start time to. For the end time, I think I'll just make it 6 a.m. We'll do it all year, so no change needed there. On days, let's deselect Saturday and Sunday since we only want school nights. Then press done. Now one last thing. Let's tell Savant how we want to be notified. This notification button here tells me that I will get a notification here on my iPad. I can also select email to get my kids are misbehaving alert in my inbox. There we go. Tap done, and then done, and we can see our new notification on the list. That's your notification lesson. Sleep well. Sometimes you may want to see what devices are connected to Savant in the room you're in. We do this by swiping right. Let's open the app, and then open the Rooms page and enter the Great Room. Then swipe right. This is showing us that we have a Savant remote and a Sonos player in this room, and that both are online and working. If there were a connection issue or other problems, these check marks would not be checked. This is a good troubleshooting tool you can use on your own or with your integration technician. Alright, here's how we control security with Savant. First we open the Savant app. Now we can tap on the security icon, either from the services bar here, or through an individual room by tapping the same icon on the room. Now we're in the security system. Here we find some of the same things you'd see on your security keypad at home. We have a numeric keypad for entering codes, a status display showing if we're armed or disarmed, and the requisite fire, panic, and police buttons in case of trouble. Now we're leaving for the night, and we want to arm the system, so we simply enter the code. Oh look, we can't arm the system because something is open. Let's check to see what it is. We can do that by tapping here on this bottom right icon. Ah, here's the culprit. We left the back door open. So if we get someone to close it for us, now we can see that the status of the back door changed from open to restored. Now if we go back to the other screen again, we can enter our code. Look, it's armed. That's your basic tutorial on operating your security system with Savant. Be safe. Here's how you view your surveillance cameras on the Savant app. Tap the app. From the home page, select the camera icon. Here we see all of our cameras on one page. If we had more, we would just slide up like so. If we want a closer look at any camera, just tap the image. Cameras on Savant. You can't get much simpler than that. Let's take a tour through the Savant Pool and Spa controls. Tap the app. Now let's find the pool and spa controls on our service bar. Okay, this looks pretty straightforward. Just move this to dial the temperature in. Want to do more? Tap down here. Look at all this. Let's turn on the waterfall and we'll leave the rest of these features where they're at. Hit done. And swipe left to adjust the spa. Maybe a tad hotter? Voila! And that's our deluxe tour of pool and spa controls with Savant. Make sure you wear sunscreen. Want to control your heating and air conditioning with Savant? Here's how we do it. Open the app, and from the home page, tap the degrees icon in the services bar. From this screen, we can see our virtual thermostat with its current temperature setting. We can change it by tapping the up or down arrows, or by sliding this rotary dial. From this screen, we can also see the current room temperature and the humidity. Want to hold the setting for a set period of time? Just tap and hold on the dial, and then select the time frame you'd like to hold the setting for. Then tap Save. Now when we return to the thermostat page, we can see that we're holding this temperature until 4 hours from now. Want to do more? Just hit this gear icon at the top and you can adjust mode, control the fan, or adjust humidity. This bar at the bottom will take us to schedules, which we'll cover in another video. There's climate control in a few easy steps. Want to create schedules for your heating and air conditioning in Savant? Check this out. Tap the app, and let's open the climate control from the home page by tapping here. Now let's tap on Add a Schedule, and then the plus sign. Okay, imagine it's summertime and we want to have the house comfortable while everyone is home, but not waste money on air conditioning when we're all off to work and summer camp. We can tap here to name the schedule. Let's call it weekdays. This all year button gives us the ability to define a date range for the schedule, but I think I'll just leave it all year for now. Days is where we can select only the weekdays, so we can deselect Saturday and Sunday. Done. Now we can select which climate zones we want the schedule to apply to. Let's leave this on all. Under mode, we'll tap cool since it's summertime. Okay, tap next, and now we can enter the temperature. Since we want to save on air conditioning costs, we'll set it for 85 degrees. Now for the start time. Since the family is out of the house by 8 each morning, I'll tap this, slide to 8, and tap it again. Now I need to tell the schedule what happens after 8, so I'm going to tap the plus sign again and lower the temperature to 70 degrees. And have it come on at 3 p.m., a half hour before the family members start to return home. Now we see the graphic showing the temperature going up on this timeline at 8 and back down at 3. Nice. So when we press save, we see our schedule with its name and particulars here. Once it's checked, we can back out to see the schedule name here with a short description. In this example, it says 85 degrees until 3 p.m. We can also go back in and turn off the schedule without deleting it by unchecking it here. And we see that this now says set a schedule. And there you go. Climate schedules in Savant. Stay comfortable. Alright, here's a fun one. Creating and using scenes in Savant. Alright, so let's open up the app. And from the home screen, we can either tap the scenes icon up here or just swipe left. Now you can see two scenes that have been created already. One for a romantic night in, the other a wake-up scene. By tapping either of these, we can transform the entire house into whatever mood we want using lights, music, thermostats, and media. Now let's add a scene by tapping this plus sign. This offers us two ways to create our scene, either by building it, where we can create a scene service by service, room by room, a little laborious, or by simply capturing all or some of the settings of your systems in their current state. This is the one we recommend for ease and accuracy. Let's say we have set the music, lights, and temperature for the mood we want when entertaining dinner guests. In order to save these settings in a scene, all we do is tap Capture. Here we see all the rooms available to us and select the ones we want to affect for the scene that we're creating. Once the rooms are selected, we press Next to see a list of the services available in our scene. If we want to add services, we can do it by pressing the plus symbol up here. We like what we see, so we're just going to press Next. This takes us to a page where we can set a schedule for the scene to trigger. We'll cover this in another video, so let's just tap Skip. Now we can name our scene, either by selecting an existing name, or by creating a scene name by tapping this Custom button, which brings up a keyboard. Since we just created a scene for entertaining though, I'm just going to select Entertain up here, then Next. Now we can select the picture we want for this scene. If we don't like any of these pictures, we can tap on the plus sign to Take Photo, or choose Existing Photo. I'm going to tap Cancel instead because I think I like this one with the wine glasses. Then we just tap Save, and you can see that it is added to our Scenes page with our picture, scene name, and the number of rooms we're controlling with the scene. Now, have a scene that needs a little tweaking? Here's how you edit a scene in Savant. Tap the app and slide for Scenes. Now, slide the scene you want to edit like so. Here we can tap Edit to see the services contained in the scene. Within each service box, we see the rooms impacted by that service and their status. From here we can tap Edit and make the changes we want. I think I'll adjust some lights, then press Done to get back to the previous page. Here's another way to modify services within a scene. By tapping this plus sign up top, we can select a service, then a room, and then we can go crazy tweaking every light in the room if we want. Then Done and Next, and we're back to our original edit page. This is the Conditions button. It's a way to tell the system to turn off or on depending on certain schedule-driven conditions. I'll show you more on that in another video. One last thing. From this Info button, we can change the name, picture, and fade time for the scene too. Oh, hold on, I don't think we've talked about fade time yet. Check this out. If we tap out here, we can control the length of time it takes to ramp up to the desired lighting and volume levels. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, that's scene editing in Savant. Happy tweaking! Here's a look at scene timers in Savant. Tap the app, swipe left for scenes. Okay, I just got up and I want my good morning scene to play for an hour while I'm getting ready for work. Here's what I do. Swipe left on my good morning scene and tap timer. Then just pull up the menu, select an hour, and voila! Here you can see my scene counting backwards from an hour. How cool is that? One more thing. The timer is here and available to me anytime, so I can turn it off from here by holding on this button, or turn it on again the same way. There you go. Scene timers in no time flat. There are many features we can control through relays within Savant. Let's get started. Things like fireplaces, water features, and gates can all be operated from within the Savant interface to make life that much easier. First, we go to the Rooms page and tap on Exterior. Now we can tap this button called Relay. See? Here are all the outdoor devices we can control through on-off relays. The ones that are lit up are on or open. The others are off or closed. If we tap these on-off buttons, we can control them here. By the way, you can learn how to keep your kids from turning the fire pit on and off ad nauseum in the user profile video.